Japanese girl Yuka moved into a new apartment to start her new life. She was very happy to live in this apartment, which seemed so cozy to her. But after a few days, Yuka began to hear strange sounds. One night, Yuka heard a voice whispering her name. But when she tried to understand where it was coming from, she realized that there was no one there. The voice seemed to come from the walls. At first, Yuka thought that it was just her imagination playing tricks on her. But soon she began to hear more and more voices. They were all whispering her name, calling her to come closer. Yuka tried to ignore the voices, but they only grew louder and more persistent. They seemed to be coming from all around her. She started to feel like someone was watching her, even when she was alone in her apartment. One night, Yuka woke up to find a shadowy figure standing at the foot of her bed. She couldn't see its face, but she could feel its presence. It was like a cold, dark cloud hovering over her. The figure started to move closer, and Yuka felt a wave of fear wash over her. She tried to scream, but no sound came out of her mouth. She was paralyzed with fear. The figure reached out its hand and touched Yuka's face. It was like a cold, clammy hand, and Yuka felt a chill run down her spine. She tried to fight back, but she was powerless against the figure's supernatural strength. The figure whispered something in Yuka's ear, and then it vanished into thin air. Yuka was left alone, trembling with fear and confusion. She knew that she had to get out of the apartment, but she couldn't bring herself to move. She felt like something was holding her back, like a dark force was keeping her trapped in the apartment. In the end, Yuka managed to escape from the apartment, but the memory of the figure haunted her for the rest of her life. She never forgot the feeling of its cold, clammy touch and the sound of its whispered voice calling her name.